Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer and welcome to Best Kept Plans. Today's video is going to be a plan with me for the intro pages for April 2024 in my A5 reading journal from Archer and Olive. If you're interested in seeing that, please stick around. Here we are in my A5 reading journal. For this spread, we're going to be using some yellow paper scraps from a notepad from Archer and Olive. I'll be using these letter stamps from Heidi Swap, this set of stamps that I got off Amazon, this paint splatter stamp set from My Favorite Things, this stamp set from Close to My Heart, and these two washi tapes. I'll also be incorporating 3 different distressed oxides as well as my black VersaFine ink. So I definitely wanted to go super springy with my intro pages for April. I liked the colors that I chose for March, but in the end, I almost felt like my intro pages and in particular my recap page were very plain, that there wasn't enough stamps used to make the deco seem substantial on the page. So I knew I wanted to go in with 3 different decorative stamps and 3 different distressed oxides. Once I put down the yellow sheets of paper for my TBR on the left and my cover page on the right, I went in with this larger paint splatter stamp and put a couple of the stamps down on the cover page and then just one on the TBR page. It definitely didn't stick down very well on the TBR page, which I was a little bit bummed out about, but I kind of tried to work around that with where I put in some other stamps. Now I'm going in with, I don't even know what to call this stamp. Like, it almost looks like falling rainwater in a sense. And I went in with that one with a bright blue color and put it down once on each page. Wasn't able to get it down perfectly on the TBR page, but I still think it looks pretty decent. And then I'm using my favorite little paint splatter stamp, which I actually haven't used in a really long time, and I'm putting one down on the cover page, and then I put one down on the TBR page, but unfortunately it had some extra ink on it and ended up kind of having like a little messy area, which we are gonna go back and cover a little bit later with some washi tape. I have been trying to use all of my different letter stamps as I'm making my way through my cover pages every month. And even though these stamps are super, super tiny, I still wanted to use them because I haven't used them before for my intro pages. I have been using them in my book spreads though to put in the titles of each book that I read. I do really like the way that they look, even though they're super small. It definitely varies things up, having used larger letter stamps since January, so I'm glad that I decided to incorporate them. And after stamping TBR on the left page and April on the right page, I am going in with this messy grid washi and putting a piece up top the TBR page to make it look like the washi is what's holding that yellow sheet of paper down. I'm now going in with both of these washi tapes and putting tiny little pieces on my cover page right in the middle of all of that deco. And then, like I mentioned earlier, I put 2 small pieces down on the TBR spread, but mainly to cover up the extra ink that kind of got down when I put that paint splatter stamp down. Now I'm moving over to my monthly spread, which I did put down the bones of my monthly spread before filming this video, and I'm using a scrap of yellow paper in the bottom left corner. I've been doing this each month and I do really like the way that it looks. I went with a bit of a larger piece of this yellow paper for this month. I went with a very small piece in March, and I wanted to have more visible deco on the pages this month, so adding a larger piece of yellow paper was really what I was going for, and I'm glad that I ended up doing that. Now I'm going in with those 3 different deco stamps that I'm using. The like small paint splatter in green, this larger paint splatter in pink, and then that last stamp which looks like falling water in blue, and having them more towards the bottom left corner of this page, kind of half hanging off the page. And then I am going to go in with these tiny little letter stamps again to put in April. After laying down the stamps, was a little nervous as to where I was going to position the April, because the green and the blue distress oxides are kind of dark, and I felt like you wouldn't be able to see the letters above them. So I did kind of push April a bit over towards the right to make sure that the colors weren't basically competing with each other. And then the last thing I did in that little deco area was add in 2 small pieces of washi tape. I'm now going in with my Micron in 08 and putting down some lines to border all of these pages. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know I love doing this with my intro pages here in my reading journal, but also my intro pages in my catch-all planner as well. I just feel like it's such a nice way to kind of complete the page and complete the deco. It really helps to kind of ground everything. I feel like I accomplished what I was going for with putting these pages together. Again, I really wanted this to look very springy, and I wanted to make sure that the pages had enough deco on them to look filled out or full, I guess, in a sense. And I definitely feel like that happened on my April cover page and my TBR page. I know that I don't actually write in my TBR during these videos, but I did after the fact, and I really love the way everything fit together on that page. I did erase the pencil marks that I had under these different letter stamps, and now we're just taking a look at the finished TBR and cover page and moving on to my finished monthly spread. I did notice that this bottom right corner was looking pretty bare, and so here I am just adding in some washi for deco. After the fact, I realized that it looked so bare there because I never put in my key for the different colors that I use to mark off if I'm reading something digitally, physically, or audiobook. So I did remove that washi and put in that key. I hope you all enjoyed this plan with me, and as always, everyone, be safe. Bye-bye.